Hey, Lincoln Scholars and families. I just wanted to show you our work for this week and also kind of show you around on our Lincoln website. So first I'm going to go into Canvas. So I'm already in my math class and I want to show you what the work's going to look like for this week. So let me go into my student view. So all the work is kept under modules. You can click modules here or modules down here as this button. But I'm going to go right into modules on the navigation bar. And here we have our week 2, 921 to 925. We're doing multiplication and division review. In eMath, this is part of Unit 1. It's the first 5 lessons kind of combined into 1 week. So we have our weekly objective here. So our weekly objective is I know when to multiply or divide to solve a real world problem. And I can solve problems with decimals and fractions. So we're going to be multiplying and dividing and using word problems. And we're also going to have decimals and fractions in those problems. So each day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, has a day page. And each day page has an overview of the day, video instructions if you need them, and the daily objective and to-do list right in it. There's also these navigation buttons at the bottom that you can use if you need them, and everything is linked right here. So Monday, we kind of have a bit to do because students need to make a Desmos account. If they have Math AIS with Miss Reno, they probably already made their Desmos account and can skip that and just make sure that they join the class. So you can either go back to modules and go to the next thing on the list or hit next at the bottom. So next thing students are going to do is they're going to make their Desmos account. There's a video right here that shows how to do it if they need help. And then they need to click this link to join our math class on Desmos. There's going to be a mark as done button at the top that students will need to click. That happens on a lot of assignments. So if they get locked out of something, make sure they're selecting mark as done when they need to. Next, they're going to participate in a discussion. So this is still on Monday. There's a quick Desmos activity with how many times can you click in 10 seconds. And then they're going to complete the activity and come down here and they're going to answer these questions. So there's 2 questions. And then they also need to reply to a classmate's post. When they're done with that, they can hit next. And then they actually have the lesson, which is within Desmos again. So that's why we need to make sure we are creating our Desmos account and that it's taken care of. So the first 5 slides of this activity are going to be done live in Teams. So we also need to make sure that we're logging onto our Teams classes. After the Desmos lessons, the very last slide says that you need to go to your class notebook and complete the fluency. So I'm going to open this up in a new tab. If your scholar hasn't done it yet, they need to hit sign into OneNote. Once they're signed in, it gives them access to the notebook, and then I can start distributing work to them in the notebook. So I'm just going to open this in another tab so you can see. This is all embedded actually for students within Canvas. They don't need to open it in a new tab, but I just did it so that my screen's a little bigger. And I'll show you what they need to work on. So Unit 1, here's our Lesson 1 Fluency. So after they complete that lesson in Desmos, they just have some quick practice problems, and then they're done for Monday. And there's always a calculator on screen. Moving on, here's our Tuesday page. Same kind of thing. They're going to come in and complete vocabulary. There's a link to this other page, which is our word wall, which has some definitions that they can use when they're completing their vocabulary. Their vocabulary is also in OneNote, so they can go to their vocabulary section and do page 1, multiplication and division review. They don't need to fill out every single box. They just need to get 15 points. So if they use the definition from that word wall, it's 1 point, or if they reword it into their own definition, it's 2 points. Any pictures they want to use as a point, and any examples they want to use as a point. So they can pick and choose which words they know best, and we'll review them in class. After they do the vocabulary in their journal, they're going to start working on their project. So this is a 2-week project, so there's a schedule to follow here. They only need to pick one problem, the green, the orange, or the blue problem. And for today, they're just going to do slides 1 and 2. And that's it. Once they do slides 1 and 2, there's going to be a PowerPoint thing on here. For some reason, my student view, it never shows up, but there's a PowerPoint here. If they're having trouble accessing the PowerPoint, I'm also going to be putting it in Teams for them to look at. Wednesday is our independent work day, so students are not going to have a live Teams class on Wednesdays. Here is the direction video for Wednesday if they need more help. And then there's also, they need to complete the lesson in Desmos. And then there's independent practice for like a homework grade. So here's that Desmos lesson. They have to sign in with that same Desmos account. When they're done, there is a fluency in their OneNote, which they can link right into Canvas. So right in here, it's just some quick, can you convert the fraction to the decimal to the fraction, and solving these problems. It'll be really quick. When they are done with the Desmos lesson and the fluency, they have their first independent practice that's actual math questions. Students can take this up to 3 times. So if they take it once and they're unhappy with their score, they can take it again. There's a total of 9 questions on this and there's no time limit. To start it, they need to take the quiz, or like you can see, I was already in student view and did it, so it will stay, take the quiz again if they need to, and they'll get immediate feedback. So here's our Thursday page and what we're going to be doing on Thursday. So all we're going to be doing is our 3rd lesson for the week. We do 3 lessons a week and then working on the PowerPoint again. So for this lesson, the first 4 slides are going to be done live in Teams. So we need to make sure we're logging onto our Teams meetings when we're supposed to and do the first 4 slides. And then in the OneNote, there's the lesson 3 fluency, which is just a couple of word problems, and then labeling the property used. When they're done with that, they can work on their project. There's going to be a mark as done button on here. If they click this link, it goes back to that original project page from Tuesday. And finally, Friday, what we're doing is we're going to do like a quick, it's another quiz like we did on Wednesday, but now we're adding in some stuff about the math properties, so the commutative and associative properties. And it's going to be a quiz grade, and I'll show you that slide again. So, and then PowerPoint, finishing up slide 5 for the week. So here's that quiz I was talking about. Just like the other one on Wednesday, they have 3 attempts. So if they don't like their score, they can take it up to 3 times. This one only has 7 questions. And they can take it multiple times, like I said. So you can see in my student view, I took it once just to look at it already to make the video for students. And they'll get that immediate feedback. Friday, again, there's going to be a mark as done button for students. And if they click this link, it goes back to the project, and I'll show you. So this is just the original page we had back with the schedule. So they're going to be finishing this up next week. So if they don't finish it all this week or they're a little off schedule, that's okay. They just need to have it done by Friday, October 2nd. And that's really it for this. So if I go back to modules, if students do all the work, they'll have green checks all the way down. So you can keep an eye on your scholar and their work doing that. The other thing I would like to show you is our Lincoln website. So if you go to our website, which is lincolnscsd.com, we have some important information on the home page, but I also want to show you where you can get resources just for you. So if you go hover over parent page, there's remote and hybrid learning family resources. Here you can find some links, like all the teacher office hours and links will be here. There's some help videos if you need help here. Here's some contact information, some other resources, and then this is a remote learning how-to YouTube playlist. I'll show you how to get to specific teachers' web pages. So if you go to the faculty and staff directory, here is every teacher and staff member at Lincoln Middle School. We all have a web page. So I'm going to go to mine and show you what mine looks like. So here's just like my little profile, introduction of me. And then we can go to Math 7 to our actual class web page. So on here, I've been putting, we have a calendar of important events. If I have any announcements, they're going right in the feed. You can access eMath here. Here are all the links for our Teams classes. So if you know your scholars in period 3, you can use this and be taken right to our meeting at 10:52. Here's just some other resources students might want to use. I included some pictures from our classroom over the past few years. And then here is our Bitmoji Classroom. So this is similar to the one I have on our homepage in our Canvas course, but you can see it's starting to go through some of the student projects. So if you're ever curious to see what projects students are working on and some examples, they'll be going through right here. We have our learning target for the week and what we're doing. And then these are also some links. So if you click the calculators, it takes you to the calculator. Click here, will email me. This YouTube link will take you to my YouTube, where you can find videos from all of our class sessions and like this video now. And I included some of the links here as well. Here's the weekly agenda that's also featured on your student's Canvas. Here's a video for making your own parent Canvas account, some other resource links you want. And this is something that you might want to keep an eye on. This as we go and learn all these different math standards, and your students will be able to speak to what these each mean. Like this first one, 7NS1A, is going to be adding opposites to make 0, so additive inverse. So you'll be able to see by lunch number how students are doing. So if your student is in period 4, you can select period 4 at the bottom, find their lunch number, and see how they're doing on these different standards. I also put that remote learning playlist right here on my homepage. So there's lots of information available to us as we need it. I'm excited for this week. We're going into our second week of remote learning. I can't wait to see your scholars in Teams and see you guys hopefully when we have a parent night coming up.